Hi there, my name is Tamara and welcome to my channel. So who am I and why did I decide to start a channel? So I'm a psychologist from the Rainbow Nation of South Africa, very colorful here, and I'm living and practicing in South Africa at the moment, and through that have been given a lot of opportunities and platforms to be able to contribute and share resources on radio, specifically Radio 702, as well as some print media such as some magazines, and through that have been getting some feedback on what you, the listeners, what viewers and readers want to talk about and learn about. What is my modality? So a modality in psychotherapy means what is our world view? What is the lens with which we intervene and treat problems and move clients towards wellness? That worldview is a school of thought. When we are training in psychotherapy, we are trained on a wide range of schools of thought, such as CBT, humanistic, psychoanalytic, psychodynamic, etc. And from there, the psychotherapist will then choose either one or more, or become eclectic in treating client problems. So I'm going to outline the ones that I specifically use, and it is important that you know that, because if you follow this channel, then you'll know that we will be looking at problems and consciousness from this lens. So my primary one is psychodynamic approach, but very much about the individual within their own selves, the unconscious, preconscious, subconscious mind, as well as understanding the past, where we come from, our formation years, our relationships with our caregivers, how we formed our worldviews, and how we sometimes unconsciously repeat these patterns of behavior. Now, for me personally, that in private practice and in seeing people and in my own life was a bit limiting, because looking at a person in isolation is not practical. So I integrate that with a systemic approach. Now, a systemic approach is seeing the person within the system that they come from. So that is culture, religion, your sibling order, the way you see yourself within that system, and how we repeat that in our organizational structures, in our family systems, in our relationships. So a systemic view is very interpersonal. Now, it's important also to understand that in terms of treating clients, we have to adopt and integrate other types of thinking. Those types of thinking are things like existential, which I myself like very, very much, and sometimes a Gestalt approach, humanistic, which I integrate together with whatever the client brings and the problem that the client will bring. So we have to be a little bit flexible. But in general, those are the two modalities that I use. And those are the ones that we will be predominantly speaking about on this channel. So what is the function of this channel? For me, I would like to set the intention and tone of this channel to not be too professory or lectury, but more a space of sharing resources and collaborating with other professionals in their areas of interest and specialties, because we hit a ceiling of what we know and can contribute. And we have to be humble enough to say, I don't know a lot about this topic. Let's bring somebody else in and they can speak about it. As well as we have to look at things into an interdisciplinary approach. So what that means is interdisciplinary is sometimes problems may need other interventions, such as, for example, working on the gut microbiome, which you'll need a gastroenterologist, not only for bodily wellness, but for mental health. And it's important to be able to collaborate and share resources. This channel will be more for psychoeducational purposes, which means that it will be about sharing the resources, teaching and learning, for myself included, because the more I get asked questions, the more I think and I go learn and I go read up about topics and push myself beyond what I already know, which is important. And also, to get people thinking and talking. Why is it important for us to think and speak about difficult topics? Is because sometimes we are socialized into societies that do not speak about these things, and they should be spoken about. So we need to normalize this whole aspect about speaking about mental health and wellness, as well as vulnerability, which is a normal part of growing and being human and connecting with other people. Now, for this channel, there are three main functions. The first is to become conscious. Consciousness is another way of saying woke. You know, this concept's thrown around. I hear it a lot on radio, is woke. Is when we are woke, is we are now becoming more empowered. We're sitting in the driver's seat, or more so, and accessing parts of us that didn't know was governing our behavior, which we will speak about in another video. This is a very big topic. To become conscious is to be open to feedback from other people, peers, collaborators, your boss, your partner, into why you do certain things that you do, and being open to trying to either find more functional behaviors or to hold yourself accountable and to say, okay, I need to think about this. So consciousness is an empowerment tool to change your life for the better. It is an uncomfortable process in the beginning because we need to be vulnerable, but in the end, we feel more empowered that we're not out of control of why we do certain things. Is we're becoming more able to understand the driving force as to why we do the things we do. Okay. The second aspect is purpose or meaning driven. What that is more an existential term, where I would like for people, and myself included, to try and think about how we can, day in and day out, live a life of purpose and meaning. Now that will be very different for every single person, and we need to challenge ourselves to ask ourselves, what gives us meaning? What makes us get out of bed in the morning? What makes us want to go and do certain things? Why do we think that we're on this planet? What type of impact do I want to make? Am I just working in a job? Am I just working in a career that will take me somewhere that I really, really want to do something with my life? Then the third aspect is to become authentic. Now this term authenticity is thrown a lot around in popular media, on TikTok, it's coming up a lot. Is what is authenticity? Is we have to try to return as much as possible, as humanly possible, into that person that you actually are inside. Not the one that needs to please your system that you come from, the society, the job, your relationship, your family. Is to, as far as possible, find that inner peace and to wear that inner mask, not the outer mask, the inner mask, to be who you want to be, that's already inside you, and to let that person emerge. Now that is a very grand feat. So what I'm saying is that we can't just reach that like that. It takes sometimes a lifetime to become quite authentic. Are we ever fully authentic? Many people will argue against this because if we do that, it's inappropriate in certain things. E.g., if someone likes to swear a lot, you can't do that in a church-like setting. It's out of respect. But in general, to live your truth, speak your truth, and be as much of who you are inside. Those are the three main functions of this channel. So this channel is not to be confused with a replacement for psychotherapy. This is not that, because nothing can truly replace the deep and meaningful and truly enlightening process of starting a therapeutic process with a therapist that is the right fit for you, because it is about a fit, very much about a fit, that will help you to identify your core beliefs, your way of thinking, your blind spots, and to help intervene in trying to shift you where you feel stuck, or maybe you need more fulfillment or things like that. This channel is more about psychoeducation. So psychoeducation is not to be confused with psychotherapy. It is very normal as we're speaking about these things, and as there starts to be a lot of thinking involved and a lot of questioning and challenging oneself, that you may become triggered. Now, there's nothing wrong with being triggered, but it is important to know that you need to do something about those triggers before they get the better of you. And so it is very, very important that you go and speak to your healthcare provider in your area and try either get some counseling or coaching or pastoral counseling, whatever it is that you can get to try and get you on the right track if you are being triggered. Some people, I see it often, they're not even aware of it, that something was bugging them so much, and then we speak about it and it's triggered. So if that happens for you on this channel, please know that there is help available. Just reach out to your nearest wellness center or healthcare provider and get some referrals. Here in South Africa, a great resource is the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, which has amazing resources in terms of referral network. Then Lifeline is another one, as well as the Family Life Center for more family-related and psycho-legal types of things. There are many more that I'm not listing, but please just make access to those tools when and how you need them. Another aspect of wellness is to unpack what wellness will be geared towards on this channel. So the way I intervene with clients and like to see the world is from a holistic approach. So holistic is to look at it from a mind, body, soul. What does that look like? Is that not only are we going to look into your thought patterns, your self-esteem, your relationships with your society, the unconscious beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world, but also your daily routine. What's your nutrition like? How's the circadian rhythm going? Are you getting enough sunlight every day? What is your gut health looking like? As we spoke about with other professionals that are more qualified and competent to speak about these topics. Because all of those things, as well as exercise, of course, movement, are going to complement towards and contribute towards your mental health. So it's very important that we really challenge ourselves to see when we are out of balance in those things, and rest, water, all of those things. All right, now wellness as well. This is spoken a lot in the psychotherapy literature and reading groups. We have reading groups, and when we go to conferences and CPD workshops, is wellness is, in olden days, psychotherapy was about removing problems or removing symptoms. So what does that look like? Is depression, anxiety. In Freudian times, it was more about hysteria and all of those things. But wellness is also when we remove those things or manage them better, because we never truly fix things, we manage them better, is we're going to move towards a wellness approach where it is, are you content in your life? Are you moving towards self-actualizing your potential? Are you living with purpose and meaning? And do you feel generally in a space that you are making an impact in the world? Is it's not only a negative view, negative as in removing bad things from your life, but adding extra to become a well-rounded individual that is conscious. Now, remember, that is not perfection. There is not this cookie cutter size, that one size fits all for everybody to go and this is what happiness looks like. That is not it. It is more about, am I challenging myself to start to look at the world in a way that I participate in it. I'm actively participating in my life, in my world, and I'm challenging myself to think, how can I be better, firstly to myself and then to my society? Because if I don't have a good relationship with myself, it will impact all my relationships with other people. So I look forward to hearing all of your comments and suggestions, either through the channel in the comments below or through our Instagram channel on theshrink, and to see what type of content you want to hear about and talk about. Until then, I'm just going to speak about topics that I've heard asked quite frequently because I know we're a very new channel. We won't have much engagement in the beginning, but I will just bring out what I'm hearing and being asked and seeing if that's something you want to speak about. But if you get a new idea or something like that, please bring it forward. Help others learn about things that maybe they're too afraid to ask about, or they're too shy, or they maybe think it's stupid to ask that, because there's nothing really that is stupid to speak about. It is important to ask all of these questions. I look forward to hearing all your comments and hearing all of your thoughts and sharing and learning together.